Hey guys, how's it going? Chris Kiefer here at Cahuilla Creek MX Park in Anza, California. To the right of me is Eddie Laret. I wanted to do something a little different for a Racer X video. We have Mammoth Mountain Motocross coming up. It was postponed due to all the weather we had here in California over the winter, so it's been pushed back until August, the end of August. But I wanted to do like a little 3-part video series on goals. I'm a big proponent of having some goals during the year, especially if you're an older guy. I also really like to hone in on why vet riders pick the bikes they do and talk a little bit about the training program and just lead you up to the day of Mammoth Mountain Motocross. So Eddie is 44. Give us some of your stats so they can kind of relate to you at home.
Yeah, so I've been around motorcycles pretty much my whole life. I raced when I was younger, then got a job, married, and kids, so stopped racing.
Like most of us, right?
Yeah, like your average, blue collar worker.
Yeah.
So that's what I classify myself as a blue collar worker. I do have a lenient work schedule. Being a salesman, I kind of have some freedom to train and ride during the week, so that helps the program. But I'm just just your standard blue collar guy that really loves to race and ride motorcycles and be around all my friends and environments. This is kind of where I feel my best.
So what I wanted to bring you guys at home is a little follow along. So I pitched this idea to Eddie. I said, hey, let's put you in a little boot camp, a training camp. We're going to get you riding 1 to 2 days a week. Obviously, he works during the week, so it's not like he can ride 3 to 4 days a week. Let's pick a motorcycle that you like, explain to the people at home why we chose it, and give you the ins and outs of what it takes to be a vet rider preparing for a race for the year. I feel like us vet guys only have maybe 1, maximum 2 goals per year because we don't got a lot of time. So Eddie's big goal this year is Mammoth Mountain Motocross, the vet weekend, which is a Saturday and Sunday event. So part 1 of this thing is going to be like about the bike. Here's where we are. We picked the 2023 KX450 SR. The reason why he picked the SR, he's going to explain to you guys here in a minute. But for me, personally, the SR is a much better Kawasaki 450 platform than the standard version. For me, it's more responsive. Eddie's a bigger guy, so I think there's more motor for him to get around. And quite frankly, it handles better with this suspension setup on here. It's a little bit stiffer, and it's built for performance, more race-oriented. So I gave you some choices, and you chose the KX450 SR. Why did you want this bike versus the Honda we were just on? Let's explain that to the people.
Yeah, so we rode the Honda, and I really enjoyed the Honda WE. It's a great motorcycle. It does have a couple characteristics that, as you guys know, we've kind of picked apart over the years. So I was actually okay with that bike. Being a bigger guy, I don't think I felt some of the things that more pro guys felt. But this is my home. As we've talked about before, I've owned a couple of these Kawasaki's. I've never owned an SR, but I've owned some production ones. And the ergonomics of this bike, the flexibility in the chassis, it suits my riding style. I just feel comfortable with it. I feel at home with the ergonomics, the seat, and being a taller, bigger guy. So when this, presented us, I was like, that is putting my best foot forward for me personally to go to the mountain and race.
So for you guys at home, depending on where your goal is at, what track you want to go to, should kind of fit what bike you want to purchase if you're able to purchase a new bike. Mammoth Mountain is very fast, very choppy. This is the best chassis for that type of terrain. Very stable, lots of comfort within this chassis, and you have a good base engine that you don't have to do a lot to. So the KX450 SR is a great platform for Eddie at Mammoth Mountain. Now, the next stop is training. Vet guys, we don't have a lot of time to train, or energy for that matter. You got a family, you got a wife that needs time, you got your kids, you got yard work, you got all these things going on, and then you still got to accomplish what you want to accomplish. That little slice of time you got to cut out is very important. So give us your weight right now, because we're going to follow this along, because you want to lose some weight.
Yep.
And what is your training program? Because we're going to keep you to that. We're going to check in on part 2 and see where you're at in the weight, how your eating is, and where the training is. So give us the stats right now.
Yeah, so right now I'm currently about 238 pounds.
Not about, we need exact.
I'm sitting at 238
pounds. We can put that on the bottom of the screen, 238 pounds.
Yeah, so 238 pounds. I do have goals with that department. I've kind of figured out, this is a little silly, but I've figured out how many days I have till the race.
Yep.
And where I want to be. If I could sit in Mammoth at around a 205-ish, I'm going to be pretty happy with that. Per my training program and a couple people that I've always leaned on for training advice, that's totally feasible. It's healthy. You're not depleting yourself. I'm not doing any of these fancy no-carb keto diets. I'm eating clean, eating a normal, affordable diet that any vet, blue-collar guy can afford. And and then my training program, I have a huge passion for riding road bikes, mountain bikes. I enjoy it. I love it. If I could spend 5 hours a day on a bicycle, that would be where I can just clear. I get into a different space when I ride my bike, and I can clear my head and just focus on what I want to do for myself. So my training program is pretty simple.
You're going to ride 1 to 2 days a week.
So yeah, moto 2 days a week for sure. I've already set that in. It's more than likely 1 day on a weekend, and then 1 day during the week, a Tuesday or Thursday. I feel Glen Helen's probably the best facility to ride to prepare for Mammoth with the hills and the bumps and that type of conditions. So I did it when I went there in 2019. I did this race, Mammoth. So I'm going to kind of follow some of the same program I had then, because I had started with great results. So I don't want to deviate too far away from that.
All right, so less than 3 months away, Eddie has to lose 33 pounds. As a vet rider, you need to set at least 1 to 2 days a week aside to ride a dirt bike. That's the most important. If you guys can't go riding, you can go to keeferinctesting.com. You can listen to my podcast. I just put up a show about training over the age of 40. So there is some ideas within that. You can also go to my YouTube channel. There's a workout program directed for you guys that ride dirt bikes. But more so, it's important to you guys to follow to the T exactly what you need to do to accomplish your goal. For me, as an older guy, we have a lot of responsibilities. We have to pay the bills. We have to show up to work on time. You have to do a good job. But on your off time, you need to get a little bit, relax and have a release. And my release is riding dirt bikes, as well as Eddie's, I'm sure, and you guys watching at home. So you want to set up your goals to be obtainable. So don't set them too high. What's your goal for results? What do we want?
About 6 months ago, I would have said, obviously, we're going there to win.
Right.
But I was there in 2019. I won a moto, first moto pretty easily. It wasn't that tough. Second moto, I was in position to win and collided with another rider, broke my foot. So I have a benchmark to go off of. But I've done some races recently, and it's been a little different result. Yeah. So class might have got a little better riders. Some guys might have come from lower age groups, just creeped into 40. So, you know what, to be honest with you, if I can end up top three, out of the 4 motos combined,
we need a podium.
Third overall, I'm going to be happy with that.
Okay, so like Eddie, set yourself up for a goal. Even if you fail, it's okay to fail. I don't know how many people out there don't even set goals because they're afraid not to meet them. It's okay. I fail all the time. I just failed recently. I can't even make a lap at a national. So there you go. I'm going to go back out and try again. It doesn't scare me. It's okay to fail. That's how we succeed. When you succeed, you look back and all the failures that you've had. You've had several before you can actually win or do good. So don't be afraid to set yourself up for a goal and then really try to obtain it. Over the course of this series, we're going to evolve this SR, I feel like. There's a couple little tricks here. He put shock therapy suspension on it for his weight. Those guys dialed him in. Some Pro Taper handlebars and some grips. But otherwise, she's stock. Some Dunlop MX-34s are going to go on. But I know Eddie. I know you vet riders. You can't leave things alone. You're going to evolve the motorcycle. So we're going to talk to you about what we've done to this, how the durability has been, things that we've broke, things that lasted. So we're going to dive into this bike a lot more. This is just to give you a little taste of what's to come and to hold Eddie accountable. This is what I want from you guys out there watching this, you vet riders. Let's hold him accountable. We're going to go to part 2, see how much weight he's lost. We're actually going to bring a scale out to the track, I feel like, and see how he's doing. Let's really just knife him in, I feel like, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And your family at home should be doing this as well for you. If you have a family that's supporting you to do this, make sure they know that you need to be held accountable. If you're slacking, have them get on you. My wife is fairly gnarly. I don't know if your guys' wife's at home gnarly, but she's on me a lot, as well as my kids. So this is going to be a fun series talking about Eddie, the bike, and of course we'll be at Mammoth Mountain Motocross this year to follow Eddie along and see how he does. So it's going to be a fun time. If you have any questions, Chris at KieferInkTesting.com. And if you want to hold Eddie accountable, Eddie at KieferInkTesting.com, EDDIE at KieferInkTesting.com. And make sure he's doing a good job. He's up at 3 in the morning. I don't know what he's doing at 3 in the morning, but he's up. So he's ready to rock at any time. We're going to go get some shots of him riding right now. So hope to see you guys in part 2. And good luck with your goals out there right now.